3 minutes, I can fix everything that's wrong with your settings as a controller player. So when you're mapping out your controller, the main goal is to keep your thumbs on the joysticks at all times. What this is going to result in is better reaction time, better movement, and better aim. One of the ways to achieve this is playing claw. Claw is when you take your pointer fingers and instead of using them for the bumpers, you're going to use your left one on your D-pad and your right one on your face buttons. That allows your middle fingers to be used for the bumpers, which allows you to click them faster while never taking your thumbs off of the joysticks. Claw is also uncomfortable as hell, so if you're like me and you can't play claw, another option is to use a scuff controller. So with the scuff controller, it gives you buttons that are going to be in an easier position for you to press without taking your thumbs off the joysticks. And these are of course buttons you can press without playing claw or stressing your hands out too much. These buttons actually aren't going to be new or different. You're basically going to remap your D-pad controls or your face controls that you weren't able to hit without taking your thumb off, and remap those to controls you can hit. Another piece of advice I like to give is be careful with using your R3 and L3. Depending on what button you bind these to, these can really affect your aim, and depending how often you use the button, this will also fast track you to controller drift. Alright, it's 2026, this isn't Myth and Ninja days, there's no reason you should suck at editing. So let's first go to settings. Once we get to game, let's go all the way down to editing. If you can't edit or you're just starting off, Simple Edit is the way to go. What Simple Edit does is basically you have one bind for editing, and wherever you look, it will edit for you. On top of that, there's already a bunch of exploits online allowing you to instantly shoot people by using this Simple Edit bind. So if you're not using Simple Edit, there's still going to be a lot of ways to get you faster. One of them I'm going to suggest is auto confirm edits. What auto confirm edits does is it makes your second button confirm the edit on release instead of having a third button to do it separately. This is going to make you a lot faster because, as you can imagine, you're pressing 2 buttons instead of 3 every time you edit. Another setting I'm always going to tell you to turn on is disable pre-edit option. I don't think there's one Fortnite player that seriously uses this setting, so there's no need for the game to be more confusing than it already is. Builder Pro is going to be a must when you're playing Fortnite. Now that we're all on Builder Pro, let me show you guys some custom settings that you can add to your game that are really going to improve it. So from presets, let's go all the way down to building. So the first setting is called switch mode / edit. The reason I don't have this binded is because it's a double bind. Basically what a double bind is that one control controls 2 actions. The way you allow that is one of the actions you can press for it and the other action you have to hold. As you can imagine, this is a lot slower. The reason I have this bind blank is because switch mode and edit both have their own binds. As you can imagine, if you switch these to their own binds, neither of them will need to be held. This is going to allow your game to be much faster. Now let's go to controller. Let's go all the way down to sensitivity. Sensitivity is a really important one because I feel like this makes or breaks your game. These are advanced settings that honestly even I struggle to figure out sometimes. That's why I think it's really important to look to a pro player or a trusted YouTuber when finding your settings. Then once you find someone's settings you like, you can adjust it a little bit up or a little bit down to preference. I hope you guys learned something from this video, and if this gets 100 likes, I'll leave a part 2.